Please tell the jury your full name.
Lisa Swensen.
And do you see Shelby Nealy here in the courtroom right now? Can you see him from where you're sitting? Who is that?
That's my son.
Okay. Lisa, I want to go back to your teenage years. And if you ever need a break, just let us know, okay? But I want to go back to your teenage years, the latter teenage years. Your parents divorced when you were about 12?
Yes.
And at some point in your latter teenage years, you meet Bobby.
Yes.
Do you recall, were you about 17 when that happens?
Yes.
Okay. And you become pregnant.
Yes.
And when you're 18 years old, you're pregnant with Shelby Nealy.
Yes.
Right? In April of 1993, do you marry Bobby?
Yes.
How old is he at the time?
Bobby,
Yes.
18.
Okay. Where do you live in April of 1993 when you married Bobby?
We lived with his parents, Bobby's parents.
In what state?
Texas.
Okay. And the relationship you had with Bobby, is that a relationship that you've been trying to block out for many years?
Yes.
It was not a good chapter.
It was not a good chapter.
The only good thing for you that came out of that chapter is Shelby Nealy.
Yes.
Did he physically abuse you during your pregnancy?
Yes, he did.
Did he push you?
Yes.
Did he shove you?
Yes.
Do you recall an event that I believe happened maybe at his grandparents' house while you were pregnant? When
Yes,
you
I
were
do.
trying to keep him from driving? You recall that?
Yes, Bobby showed up at my dad's house. He was high on something, drunk, on a motorcycle. I did not want him driving that motorcycle home and getting in a wreck and killing himself before he could meet our unborn child. So I decided to drive him home, even though it was not the best choice. On the way to get into my dad's car, I saw a change that made me nervous, that he became aggressive. So I tried to get back into my dad's house. He caught me. He dragged me to the car, threw me in it, and proceeded to get in there, damaging a lot of stuff in my dad's car, hitting me in the side of the head, and I drove him home.
Did you call the police?
The police actually pulled us over, but I was too afraid to tell them what was actually going on. Because I didn't want him to hurt me anymore, or especially hurt our unborn child. So I continued, after we got past the cop, continued to get him back to his parents' house.
Okay. Shelby was born August 19, 1993?
Yes.
Is that accurate? Okay. So how old is he today?
Shelby is 31.
He'll be 32 next month?
He will be 32.
Okay. after he is born, during the first year of Shelby's life, did the abuse that you received from Bobby continue?
Yes.
Was there a particular moment where you ended up having to crawl through broken glass?
Yes, there was.
Tell the jury what happened, what led up to that, and about that event.
Well, Shelby and I were sleeping in bed. I had Shelby right beside me. Bobby showed up at some point in the middle of the night. He just came home. He wanted just wanted to be aggressive. He was high on drugs, I don't know what. Immediately yanked me out of the bed, just yelling and hitting. And then at some point, he wanted to leave. But before he left, we had a glass dining room table. He broke it.
How did he break it?
He just picked it up and threw it down, and it just shattered.
Okay.
And then he couldn't find his keys. So he thought that I did something with them, which I didn't. So therefore, he made me crawl through shattered glass with a gun held to me, trying to find the keys. And I just prayed, please, let me find these keys so I can live another day. And then after that, I got Shelby. I held him to protect him. And then Bobby held a knife to my throat and told me how much of I was not a good person. And I would never find anybody that would love me or care about me. I was worthless. And if he ever found me again, he would kill me, chop me up, and dispose of me.
Did he leave with Shelby that night?
Yes, he did. He made me load him in his car, and then he slashed all my tires so I couldn't try to follow him.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
How old was Shelby at the time?
Shelby was probably 10 months.
Was your mother living in Texas at the time?
No, she actually came down because my nephew was born, so she wanted to be there for the birth of him.
So your mother was in town at the time?
Yes.
Not living with you,
No.
but living with your sister?
She was not living with my sister.
Okay. But your sister is the one that was having the
Yes,
baby?
my sister was, yes.
Did you ask your mother to help you get Shelby?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How were you able to get Shelby?
Well, I knew Bobby was going to go back to his parents' house, and his grandparents, which lived right next door, took care of Shelby during the day while we worked. And I went over there the next day, my mother and I. They had really, really mean dogs in their yard, which I could have cared less if they attacked me. All I cared about was getting straight to Shelby, which I did. And his grandparents were like, oh, wait, we have to call Bobby. I'm like, no, I just grabbed my baby. He was filthy, dirty. And then I went into hiding.
You knew Bobby wouldn't be there at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And you say you went into hiding. Where did you hide?
With my best friend, her dad was a police officer, so I knew that I'd be safe until we could arrange for me and Shelby to leave Texas.
And your best friend, what was her name?
Kelly.
Kelly what?
Kelly.
Okay. So at some point, after hiding out for a while in Texas, do you, your mom, and Shelby move back to Ohio?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And when you moved back to Ohio, do you live with your mom?
Can I just back up for a minute?
Yes, absolutely.
I never thought I'd leave Texas, ever. I love Texas. Texas was my home. And my dad, he thought that he would never have to see a child of his leave to protect theirself. And I remember on the way to the airport, him looking over at me and just saying, I know you don't believe this now, but there is somebody out there that will love you and care for you and protect you. You will find that person. And then he put me on a plane.
Okay.
And I made a new life in Ohio.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. So in Ohio, I don't need the address, but what city in Ohio did you move to initially?
Initially, when I moved to Ohio, it was Lorain.
Lorain, Ohio?
Yes.
And who lived in Lorain, Ohio?
My mom. And my grandmother.
Your mother and grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the name Rose in some of the paperwork. And what's the name Rose?
That's my maiden name.
Okay, it's your maiden name?
Yes.
All right. So your mother, her last name was Rose. Her married name would have been
Her
Rose.
married name.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for the first several years in Ohio, does your mother help care for Shelby while you were working?
Yes, she did.
Okay, you live in a small apartment together?
Yes, we did.
At some point, do you move out on your own?
Yes,
You-
I did.
You and Shelby?
Yes.
But did your mother continue to help out with Shelby as far as,
Yes. While I stayed in Lorain, yes, she took care of him.
all right. Did you end up getting in a relationship with another man?
Yes.
What was his name?
Danny.
And did that relationship last?
No.
Why not?
Because I could see some of the same characteristics and similarities that I dealt with in the past with
With Bob.
Bobby, and I was not going to allow that
Okay.
type of behavior.
So wasn't any physical abuse?
No, no physical, but mental, and I wasn't going to let it get too physical.
Okay. During this time period, the first 3 years of Shelby's life, was he comfortable around men?
No, he was deathly terrified of men.
Okay. At some point, do you meet Paul Swensen?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Swensen?
Yes.
Okay. Scandinavian?
Yes.
Okay. And you fall in love with him fairly quickly?
Yes. Yes, we did.
All right. And he meets Shelby fairly quickly?
Yes.
Okay. And how old was Shelby at that time?
Shelby was 3.
Okay. So roughly 29 years ago.
Roughly, yes.
Okay. Do you end up moving in with Paul Swensen?
Yes, we did move in together.
All right. And in fact, the majority of the time that you've been together, have you lived in the same home?
Yes.
And you don't have to give the address, but what's the city? where
Parma.
this- Parma,
Parma.
Ohio?
Mhm.
Okay. Is it a modest home?
Yes.
But it's
I
your
think
home?
It's our home.
Okay. And that's where you brought up your family?
Yes.
First, it was just you, Paul, and Shelby.
Yes.
how would you describe Shelby during those toddler years up until his teenage years?
Very active.
Okay,
Had to chase him around.
okay.
Matter of fact, my father-in-law used to joke, is his name Shelby or no Shelby?
Okay. Did people suggest to you that you should have him evaluated to see whether or not he suffered from ADHD?
Yes, once he reached the school age,
Okay. Did you resist that initially?
yes. I did not want him on medication.
Okay. For several years?
Yes,
Okay. At some point, do you end up having a doctor prescribe medicine for his ADHD?
yes.
Okay, to try to basically calm him down a little bit?
Calm him down, help him focus in school.
Okay, all right. In retrospect, do you wish you had put him on medication much earlier?
Yes,
Okay. You have another son, Alex.
yes,
Okay. Did he also have problems with ADHD?
yes, he did. And I actually put him on medicine when he started first grade.
Okay.
Yes, a lot sooner.
All right. He's 25 now?
He will be 25
Okay.
in September.
All right. And he's doing well?
Yes, he's doing well.
You've heard testimony about the volatile relationships that Shelby was involved in and a
Yes.
participant in.
Yes,
From the relationship with Caitlin
yes,
that produced his daughter. What's his
Yes.
daughter's name?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. To his relationship with Jamie,
Yes,
which produced 2 children.
Bella and Oliver.
Okay. And you've heard testimony about times that Shelby was homeless.
I've heard it.
Okay. Generally, was he welcome to your home?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Were there times, however, because you needed to protect your family, that if he didn't follow rules and do, as you and Paul, just reasonable rules that parents impose, that you said, you can't be here if you're not going to follow rules?
Exactly. And if the roles were reversed and his brother was out of line, the same thing would have happened to protect him.
Sure, sure. Unfortunately, Shelby had difficulties even with those parameters following.
Yes, he did.
Okay. And during the first relationship, was there a time when Shelby and Caitlin lived with you?
Yes, for a short period of time.
Okay. And was that after Caitlin was pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. What happened after she gave birth? After Caitlin, were they living with you after?
No, they were not living with us after after Mackenzie was born. They were in their own apartment.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, was there a time, however, that Mackenzie was living with you guys, or you were helping raise Mackenzie?
Mackenzie has never lived with us,
Okay.
and we've never helped raise her.
Okay.
But when she was born, I went to be with her every second.
Okay.
I love my granddaughter very much.
Okay.
And so Caitlin was more than willing to let me have her at any point in time. So she was, I had her a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Would it be fair to say, and we've heard evidence in this trial, that both Caitlin and Shelby struggled with behaving.
Yes.
They were engaging in conduct that you did not approve of.
Yes.
Unfortunate conduct.
Yes.
At some point, because of that, Mackenzie ends up being raised by her grandmother, maternal grandmother.
Yes.
Okay. And you've heard testimony that there was a time period where Shelby indicated that he was not Mackenzie's father. You heard that?
I've heard that.
Okay. Does Shelby acknowledge that he is Mackenzie's father?
Yes.
Okay. Have you always been Mackenzie's grandmother to her?
Yes.
To this day?
Yes.
And Mackenzie knows you as her grandmother?
Yes, she knows me as Grandma.
Grandma. Okay.
Grandma.
All right. While Shelby has been incarcerated, has he written letters to you to hold for Mackenzie to give to her after she's 18 years of age?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall all the details of what's written in the letter?
No, I don't.
Generally.
General, that he loves her
Okay.
and that he's sorry that, he can't be in her life.
Okay.
But I can't tell you word for word.
Sure. But generally, he loves her and he's sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Shortly after he's arrested, he when he's first arrested in Ohio, did you talk to him and meet with him in Ohio?
He called me on the phone.
Okay. Does he tell you that he's done a horrible thing?
Yes, he did.
Confesses to you horrific crimes?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did it break your heart?
Yes, yes.
Okay. But he's your little boy,
Yes,
always will be.
yes.
Did you continue to have conversations with him on the jail phone?
Yes.
I want to talk about a particular conversation that you had with him in March of 2019.
Okay.
That's fairly close to the time when he arrived in Florida, right?
Yes.
Here at the Pinellas County Jail.
Yes.
Do you recall talking to him about where he is being housed at the Pinellas County Jail?
In a private, I want to say private, a cell by itself.
Okay, okay. And does he tell you he's okay? Like he's safe?
Yes,
That's a mother's concern, right, when you're in jail?
of course.
Not when you're in jail, but when
Well,
your
yeah,
son is in jail.
Right, yes.
Okay. Does he tell you that one day he's going to be a famous author?
Yes,
And whatever money he makes, could be millions, right?
Mhm.
Yes?
yes,
He'll give it to you.
yes, he said that.
Does he tell you that, you kind of question him about that a little bit? Do you recall?
I don't recall
That's fine.
me questioning him.
Okay. But does he tell you that part of the reason why he might be successful is because, unfortunately, he's part of an infamous case,
Yes, yes,
facing the death penalty,
yes,
possibly will end up on death row,
yes,
and that might contribute to the book being successful?
Yes.
Is that the first time in Shelby's life that he talked about wanting to be an author?
No.
Okay. Tell the jury, about that.
When Shelby was a teenager, he loved to read books. He was passionate about reading books. And that was always a dream to maybe one day write a book and become a famous author.
Okay, all right. You learned recently that he has in fact self-published a book.
Yes.
You can get it on Amazon, right?
Yes.
And that doesn't mean a publisher read a manuscript and said, "This is great, and we're gonna fund this," right?
Right.
It's self-published.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you have a copy of the book?
I do.
Okay. Do you prefer books that are read to you, like Audible?
Yes, I
type?
do. I like audiobooks.
Okay,
Because if I pick up a book and try to read it, I'll just fall right to sleep.
okay,
And I have too many other things that I do that takes up my time.
okay. Would it be fair to say that the book, based on what you've been reading so far, not necessarily your cup of tea?
It's not my cup of tea.
Okay, all
And
right.
I'm sorry to say that.
But you're still,
But I'm proud of the fact that he actually could do that.
right,
Yeah. And maybe one day I'll actually pick up the book and flip through each page and try not to fall asleep.
I want to go through some photos with you that are already in evidence. And so I'm going to step over here with the court's permission. This is Defense Exhibit 34. What are we looking at here?
That is our shed at home.
Is that a shed that, during the period of time when Shelby was having difficulties following the rules at home, that you and Paul actually set that up with a place for him to sleep?
Yes, but it did not look like that.
Right,
It was brand new,
right,
and it was not meant to be a forever thing.
sure.
And I'm going to just put a side note in here. If you ever go camping and you rent a place of theirs, like a little cabin, a lot of times it looks like a shed.
Okay.
So, but to answer your question, yes, he did stay in a shed for maybe a night or two, maybe 3 nights, I don't know.
Okay,
But hey, it's better than, I guess, if he's not going to follow the rules, I guess it's better than nothing.
absolutely. And it had a bed in it at the time, right?
It looked like a mini apartment.
Okay. But that's the same shed?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 37. Let me, can I? There. What is that?
That is a card that Shelby has sent to me since he's been in jail.
Do you know if that's the card that he made?
He said that somebody else did the little hearts and stuff, but ultimately, I mean, it's what he made.
Okay, so it was his card,
Yes,
someone else made it for him,
yes,
okay? And he sent it to you for Valentine's Day.
yes.
And does it still hang in your home?
It is still in his old bedroom that he used to, that was his when he lived at home.
Okay. I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 33. What are we looking at here?
I believe that's a birthday card he sent me.
So it says, "Dearest mother, your thoughtfulness is greatly appreciated. thank you for all that you do for me. I'm blessed to have you. I love you. Love Shelby.
Okay. Yeah, because at first we could send cards back and forth. Now all those chew marks are from our cats, so.
Those are from the cats.
Yes. One of our cats loves paper and boxes and stuff, and she was able to get a hold of that, unfortunately.
But despite the fact that the cat got a hold of it, it's still one of your treasures?
It's still a treasure of mine.
Okay. I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 31. What is this?
Oh, that's, Shelby sent me that as well since he's been in jail.
It's what?
Shelby sent me that as well since he's been in jail.
Okay. And it says Love Shelby on it?
Yes.
I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 36. Who do we see in this photo?
Shelby, Alex, me, and Paul.
Alex is what, 7 years younger than Shelby?
Yes, he is.
Quite a bit bigger than Shelby.
Yes, he is.
Shelby was always a little boy?
Yes, he was.
Let me show you Defense Exhibit 35. Here's in this photo.
That is Paul, Kirsten, which is Paul's sister, me, and Shelby.
Okay. How old was Shelby at the time, do you know?
Oof. 5 or 6, maybe 6.
I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 50. Here's the young lady in that photo.
That's me. With Shelby.
I'll show you Defense Exhibit 28.
Paul, me, Shelby, and Alex after we brought him home from the hospital.
Show you Defense Exhibit 29.
Me and Shelby.
Where's photo?
That was at baseball Indians game in Ohio. That was a day after Paul's sister got married, his sister Sarah.
How old is Shelby in that photo?
Oof. Maybe 19, I'm not sure. 18, I'm not sure.
Okay. It's not during the time period when he came back.
Oh, no.
And when we finish.
Oh, sorry.
It's not during the time period when he came back after having killed Jamie.
No.
Did you have a lot of contact with him during that time period?
Not really.
Right. And is part of the reason for that because this is Alex and Shelby, right?
Yes.
And just for the record, that's Exhibit 32. Was part of the reason why you didn't have a lot of contact with Shelby when he came back after he had killed Jamie? Obviously, you didn't know he killed Jamie.
No.
He didn't
Of
tell you
course.
he killed Jamie.
No.
But is part of the reason for that you were dealing with Alex's illness at that time?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Do you recall when Alex went to the hospital?
Alex, we checked him into the hospital December 2017, at the end of December.
Okay. And it took a little while to figure out what was wrong with him, right?
Yes, we were in there a complete month before they figured things out. He was already very sick when we entered the hospital. And then after that, we were there 7 months.
7 months after that?
7 months.
Do you recall getting a call from Shelby early in January of 2018?
Yes,
So maybe within less than a month of when Alex goes in the hospital.
right.
Is he asking for help?
Yes.
Is it your thought that he's doing the same old nonsense?
Yes.
And at the same time, you're dealing with, I mean, did you have any thoughts that he had killed someone?
No.
Okay. But you're thinking maybe he's involved in domestic violence and not that kind of nonsense.
Right, and I told him that he needed to figure it out, that him and Jamie have been in their arguments so many times, and both myself and my husband tried to get him to leave this relationship.
Sure.
So I was fed up kind of at that point. Plus, I had a child fighting for their life in the hospital.
Right. So let's go back a little bit from that point. You just told the jury that you had been wanting Shelby to leave the relationship that he was in with Jamie. Elaborate
Yes.
on that. What is it that you saw? What is it that you witnessed about that relationship that brought you to have those feelings when he calls you in January of 2018?
Well, to step back a little bit,
Right.
Bella was less than 48 hours old. The cops called us in the middle of the night, wanted us to come pick her up, and we get there. The cops weren't there. They already took Jamie to the hospital. Shelby, so I didn't see her at first, but Shelby was completely marked from what I could see from head to toe. I was coughing a lot while I was in their apartment, and I'm like, what is this? Well, it was pepper spray, because pepper spray was being sprayed with a newborn baby in there. So I was very concerned about Bella, and the apartment was trashed, just trashed. And I got Bella, she had no clothes on. And we told Shelby, we were called, we need to take her with us for now. I'm sure she's gonna come back, but we need to take her for now. Went to the store, got her formula, diapers, and then I had old outfits of Mackenzie from when she was a baby that I put on her, got her comfortable, fed her, and just took care of her. I didn't know how long she was going to be there.
Okay. You've seen photos that's been presented and introduced into evidence in this courtroom of injuries, scratches, and cuts on
Yes.
Shelby.
Yes,
Were those the type of injuries that you saw on him
yes.
that day?
That particular day, yes.
Okay, all right. And and this is just like a day after?
That's just less than 48 hours. Bella was less than 48 hours old.
Okay.
At that point.
So they've just been released from the hospital?
Exactly.
Okay. And so you take Bella, you get diapers, you get formula, you have old clothes from Mackenzie.
Yes.
You're caring for her, you're loving her.
Yes.
What happens the next day?
Well, it wasn't the next day. It was actually hours later.
Okay.
It was the same day.
Same day?
Same day. Jamie showed up very hysterical, very uncontrollable. Came into her house screaming at me, trying to get Bella. At first I was trying to calm her down. I didn't want anything happening to Bella. And then she snatched her from me, and then I just tried to continue to just try to calm her down. And then she eventually...
Let me
I'm
ask
sorry.
you, to stop you for a second. Did you see any injuries
No,
on Jamie?
I did not.
No scratches, no cuts, no black eyes?
No,
Nothing like what we saw in the photos of Shelby?
no.
Okay. Carry on. What else happens?
After a period of time, kind of got her somewhat calmed down, I guess you could say. And then she left with her mom.
Okay. Mr. Doig, when he questioned Paul, your husband,
Yes,
indicated she just wanted her child.
Yes, she just wanted her child.
Okay, well, did she behave in the kind of manner that gives you comfort to give?
No, she did not. No, I would never have done that
Okay,
because we are her grandparents, and I would hope that if I was ever in a situation like that, which I was not, I would hope that the police would call my child's grandparents, and I know that my baby would have been taken care of. She was going to get her back. There's no reason to lash out like that.
right. In fact, if the behavior was more calm and hey,
I was thinking she was going to come in and thank me for watching over Bella and keeping her safe and protected until she could come back for her. But that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
No.
Okay. I'm going to show you some other photos. This is Defense Exhibit 49. Who's in this photo?
Our son Alex, Shelby, Paul's mom, Beth, Paul, me, Kirsten, Sarah, and at the time, Sarah's husband, Justin.
And Kristen and Sarah are Paul's sisters.
Yes, they are.
Shelby's aunts.
Yes.
I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 47. We know who Santa Claus is, but who are the other two people in that photo?
Shelby and Alex.
I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 40. Who's in that photo?
Shelby and Mackenzie.
And I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit 46. Who's in that photo?
Me and Joey.
How old were you at the time?
18.
During the 6 years that Shelby has been incarcerated here at the Pinellas County Jail, have you had a chance to meet him face to face in person?
No.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to talk to him without it being recorded?
No.
Okay. When he calls you, it's recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you communicate with him on a regular basis?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Tell the jury about your relationship with Shelby and how it's evolved during the time that he's been incarcerated.
I just feel like we have had a really good relationship since he's been in. I mean, we talk every week, so it's been good. I definitely just have felt that he's matured since he's been here. I know I even said this at one point to somebody that, and I don't want him, no mother would ever want their son to be in jail, but I almost feel like our relationship's even better than it was when he wasn't. But like I said, I'm not saying nobody wants their son in jail, but I understand why.
But you understand why he's in jail?
Yes, I do understand that.
And based on what he did, you agree that he should be in jail?
Yes.
Okay. But you want to continue to have a relationship with him?
I do.
Okay. You think that your relationship with him has actually improved while he's been in jail?
Yes.
Does he seem to care about what's happening with others?
Yes, he does.
Your mother, is she still alive?
My mother?
Yes.
Yes.
His grandmother, right?
Yes.
What's her name?
Jane
Last name?
Rose
Okay. And Jane Rose lives in
in Texas with my sister.
All right. In Magnolia, Texas?
Yes.
Okay. Does he ask about, what about your father? Is he alive?
Yes, he lives in Texas as well, and
Okay.
he does ask me about my father.
Okay. He's not very healthy right now, is that?
No, he's been going through some health things. I went down to Texas in May to see him, and actually Shelby got to talk to him.
Okay. Does he ask about other family members and friends?
Yes.
Okay. And do you tell him about them?
Yes.
And does he seem to care about
Oh,
how
yes.
they're doing?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Does he tell you that he loves you?
Yes, he does.
Do you tell him that you love him?
Yes, I do.
And will you continue to do so?
I will.
Okay. You have one moment, Your Honor. No other questions, John?
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Ms. Swensen.
Good afternoon.
Now, you testified that you were the victim of domestic violence in your first marriage.
Yes.
Right? And that was to Mr. Nealy's father?
Yes.
And that violence was never targeted towards Shelby, right?
No.
You love your son, Shelby, right?
Yes.
And you didn't want anything bad to happen with him in Texas, right?
That's right.
And you don't want that now either, right?
I do not.
So that wasn't an environment that you wanted Shelby growing up in, right?
No.
So you left that abusive marriage when Shelby was 10 or 11 months old and moved to Ohio, right?
Yes.
And then Shelby didn't see his biological father again until he was 15,
Yes.
right? So it'd be true then that Shelby wouldn't have had any memory of the domestic violence, right?
Correct.
And he was raised in a normal, loving home in Ohio, right?
Yes.
And Shelby had a good childhood with you?
Yes.
And after you left Bobby Nealy, Shelby enjoyed spending time around your father as a baby, right?
Yes.
And when you remarried to Paul Swensen, Shelby was still very young, and Paul took the role as father figure, right?
Yes.
And Shelby enjoyed spending time with him as well, right?
Yes.
And you observed that your husband, your second husband, Paul, was a loving and attentive father to him as well, right?
Yes.
And you observed that Shelby and Paul had a good relationship.
Yes.
In fact, Paul treated Shelby like his own son, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You and Paul actually put Shelby in private school and elementary school, right?
Yes.
And then also private school at the beginning of middle school, but then it switched to a charter for the rest of middle and then high school, right?
Yes.
And despite that support, Shelby struggled with his grades in school over time, especially later in his school career, right?
Yes.
When he started to struggle in elementary school and you became aware that he might have ADHD, you did eventually get him on medication for it, right?
Yes.
And that was because his education and growth were priorities for you, right?
Can you repeat that?
His education and his growth was a priority for you,
Yes.
right? Okay. Now, after meeting his biological father, you've mentioned that things went downhill for Shelby, right?
Yes.
But his grades had already been declining prior to that, right?
Yes.
And Shelby had started to hang out with a rough crowd, and you believed he was dabbling in drugs in high school, right?
Yes.
And you had issues with Shelby being lazy and not wanting to do things, right?
Yes.
And Shelby wouldn't follow the rules at school or at home, right?
Correct.
In fact, you had to plead with the school to allow Shelby to keep attending, despite the fact that he refused to follow the rules, right?
Yes.
And you had issues with Shelby lying about all sorts of things, right?
Yes.
And in fact, Shelby would lie frequently to get out of trouble, right?
Yes.
You mentioned that eventually he got his high school girlfriend pregnant, right?
Yes.
But that didn't stop you and your husband from being supportive of Shelby, right?
Correct.
And in fact, you helped Shelby's pregnant girlfriend get emancipated, right?
Yes.
And you helped them get an apartment together, right?
Yes.
And not only did you help them get that apartment, you actually fully furnished it for them, right?
Correct.
So you were still extremely supportive of Shelby despite the issues he was having, right?
Yes.
But ultimately that first relationship failed, right?
Yes.
But that was after Shelby had been arrested for domestic violence against the mother of his first child, right?
Correct.
And they just essentially abandoned the apartment that you had paid for and furnished at that point, right?
Yes.
Despite all that, Shelby was still welcome back in your home at that point, right?
Yes.
And in fact, all he needed to do was to not do drugs or create chaos or steal things in the home to stay there, right?
Correct.
But Shelby would not follow those rules, right?
Correct.
And from there, Shelby chose to live a rough life with a rough group of people at that period of time, right?
Yes.
And that was the time frame where Shelby went to the hospital for head injury in 2012, right?
Yes.
And eventually, Shelby moved down to Florida and married his second wife, Jamie Ivancic, right?
Yes.
And isn't it true that you had never met Jamie before they were married and she was pregnant?
Correct.
And despite his past problems, you still wanted to help Shelby, right?
Correct.
And you and your husband helped Shelby and Jamie move into an apartment in Ohio, right?
Correct.
And through your contact with them, it was clear to you that they were in a very toxic relationship, right?
Yes.
And during that period of time, you know that Shelby checked himself into a psychiatric facility just to get a break from the stress of the situation, right?
Yes.
So that was not for a real psychiatric emergency, right?
No.
And you encouraged him to leave the situation, right?
Many, many times.
And you even begged Shelby to end the relationship and move back home with you, right?
Many times.
So he knew he would be welcome there, right?
Yes.
But he chose not to do that, right?
That was his decision. Yes, he chose not to do that.
And instead, Shelby moved back to Florida with Jamie, right?
Yes.
And then eventually, Shelby came back to Ohio without Jamie, right?
Correct.
And you didn't know what he had done at the time, but you now know that when you saw him, it was after he had killed his second wife, Jamie, right?
Correct.
And you mentioned on direct that he had asked for some help. I believe that the help he was asking for was for you to watch his kids, right?
For me to, if he felt like they were going to blame him for their argument or whatever, and that if we could take the kids, that's what he said.
Okay. And he told you that Jamie was in a psych ward at the time, right?
Yes.
And you know now that was not true, right?
Correct.
And he seemed fine at the time, right?
Yes.
He didn't seem stressed to you about what he had done and was calm, right?
Yes.
And when he told you that Jamie was in a psych ward, it was easy for you to believe because you knew Jamie suffered from mental illness, right?
Yes.
And eventually, after 3 more murders, your son was eventually arrested in Ohio, right?
Yes.
And he called you from the jail to tell you he was in custody, right?
Yes.
And isn't it true that initially you didn't believe him when he told you that it was for murder?
I did not.
And in fact, you told him that he was lying, right?
Correct.
And that's because Shelby had lied to you very often, right?
Correct.
And you knew that Shelby lies to get out of trouble, right?
Correct.
Now, you recall communicating with Shelby via Facebook Messenger while he was supposedly in Texas, right?
Correct. I would have to, sure, yeah.
And do you recall on December 12th of 2018, Facebook messages from him saying that he was in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And do you also remember on that date, December 12th, 2018, that he said that he had gotten a new car?
Yes.
In fact, he said he never felt more like you because you liked to get new cars or something of that nature, right?
I love cars, yes.
And that was 2 to 3 days before he murdered the Ivancics, right?
Correct.
Now, you've also spoken with your son multiple times since he's been in custody, and I know on direct, defense counsel asked you about a conversation where he talked about becoming an author and a millionaire, and you spoke a little bit to that on direct, right?
Yes.
Now, isn't it true that the exact words that he said to you were, well, considering I'm all over the news all the time, it wouldn't be hard. Hey, it's a book by that dude. Oh, I have to get it just because I'm curious. Yeah, I know. And then they read it and they're like, oh, wow, this is actually like pretty good. Maybe we shouldn't kill this dude, you know? That's the hope and the dream. Do you recall that?
From what he told me, the phone call?
Yes.
Sure, if that's what it's saying, then yes.
Okay. And you said that he's matured a lot since he's been in custody, right?
I feel like he has. I mean, not at first, of course, but over the years.
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is a little late for that.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Redirect.
During that same phone call, March of 2019, do you also recall him, Shelby, saying to you he only has 2 options? One option is to rehab himself. The other one is to do the same old shit. Remember him saying that?
Yes.
Remember him going on to say, I may not get another chance, but at least I did something for me and feel like I'm accomplishing something in my life.
Yes.
Okay. While you've spoken with Shelby over the past 6 years, has he made it very clear to you that he will never, ever get out of prison?
Yes.
He will die in prison.
Yes, he will.
The only way that he will get out of prison is in a pine coffin.
Yes.
But regardless of those circumstances, he's your little boy.
Yes.
You love him,
Yes.
and you'll continue to love him.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, you may